there folks, welcome back to the Dice Odyssey. I'm Kaz, and today I've got a Kickstarter pre-production preview that I'm going to be bringing to the table. That's going to be Kingswood by 25th Century Games. Now the king has issued a challenge to all the prominent guilds in the land, rid the forest of all the monsters, and gain the most fame points and glory for doing it. Now keep in mind, rules, components, everything is subject to change because it is pre-production. I'm going to get you over to the table for a general brief overview of kind of how it plays, and then we're going to get back to my final thoughts. To start with, you're going to set up your village, much like what you're seeing here, with the tavern, blacksmith, forest, academy, and market as your main village areas. You will add a sixth village area that's been randomly chosen from any of the remaining locations. For example, in this game, we will be using the potion shop. Your tokens will consist of hearts, books, swords, and gold coins. Then you shall choose a guild, and each guild is going to have their own special ability. For example, you have the Silver Shield. Refresh a sword when you defeat your first monster in the forest. You have the Arcanum. Pay no gold when skipping over locations. You have the Temple of Ancient Oaths. Ignore the King's Guard when visiting a location. You have the House of Music. After activating the tavern, you may reserve one monster from the forest. And then you have the Murder of Crows. Gain an extra coin when you visit the market. You also have the Treetop Order. Draw a fourth monster when you activate the forest. In this case, we'll choose the Silver Shield Guild, and you'll receive whatever tokens are at the bottom of the card. Now you will set up the Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 monster decks. Chapter 1 monster deck will be set up according to player count. The Chapter 2 deck will not be changed. They'll both be separately shuffled, and then Chapter 1 will be set on top of Chapter 2. You'll have your 3 adventurer meeple start out at the tavern. The King's Guard will start out somewhere to the side. On your turn, you must perform one of the following 2 actions. You can explore. You can take your adventurer meeple from wherever their starting location is on your turn and move them to a separate location. If you move adjacently, for example, from the tavern to the potion shop, it will cost you nothing. But if you were to move from the tavern to the market, it will cost you a coin for each area that you jumped over. And it is bi-directional. It does not matter which direction you start from and go, you're still going to pay the cost. So if you jump from the tavern to the academy, you're paying 2 coins. Now, wherever you move the adventurer meeple from, you'll put the King's Guard there. And under normal circumstances, no one can enter that area until the King's Guard has been removed. Now, one of the other 2 actions you must do is you can also collect. You can remove the King's Guard pawn from whatever its current location is and place it to the side. Now you can collect money from the supply. You'll get 2 coins. If this action has been done, the next player may not take the collect action. They must explore. Now, these different locations will give you different kinds of things. For example, they can give you money. They can replenish different kinds of abilities. You can gain more tokens of different types, so on and so forth. For example, if you go to the tavern, you can pay a gold and you can gain a heart. Or you can actually replenish an exhausted heart back over to its flipped active side. Now, ultimately, your goal is to fight monsters. If you go to the forest, you can fight any number of monsters that are laid out, and typically they're going to be laid out in levels of 3. Let's take a look at the monster cards. If you look, it'll tell you the type of monster that you're going to fight, as well as the requirements it takes to defeat the monster, and the amount of points at the bottom, and possibly an ability you'll be able to take for defeating that monster. For example, you have a small dragon. Now, it requires a heart, a sword, and a book to defeat. Your reward is you gain a coin and 3 points. Now, when you actually fight these, you will now exhaust any tokens it requires if you have them in your supply. You don't get rid of them unless it requires a gold coin. For example, you have the Moon Sprite, which takes a sword and a gold coin. Well, you'd exhaust your sword and then you just pay your gold coin to the supply. And then it allows you to refill the forest. Refilling the forest takes place normally at the end of however many monsters you were able to defeat. You have the Ghost. It's worth 1 bonus point if you have defeated a Wraith already, and it gives you 2 points. You also have a Toll Troll. Worth 1 bonus fame if you've defeated the Troll Boss. He's 2 points. So see, some of them will combo up for in-game point scoring later. Now, whenever you're done fighting, you then refill the forest to make sure it goes back up to 3 monsters to fight again. Now, at some point, you'll deplete Chapter 1 cards and you'll go into Chapter 2. Some of these are going to have stronger enemies to fight. For example, you've got the Troll Boss. Takes 5 coins. He gives you 3 points. Now your defeated Toll Trolls have 1 bonus fame. You have the Genie. You may use the ability at the King's Guard location. 5 points. He requires 3 hearts, 3 books. You have a Fireball. It takes 3 hearts to defeat. 2 of them are going to be exhausted, but 1 of them is returned to the supply. It allows you to refresh all swords and gives you 3 points. Now, there is an ability in the game, for example, with the House of Music Guild, that allows you to reserve a monster from the forest. To reserve a monster, you take one from the forest or from the top of the monster deck. You can keep this card hidden from everyone else. You can only have 1 reserve monster at any time. And while you're at the forest location anytime on your turn, you can choose to fight that monster in particular, receiving their rewards. And that's pretty much how you play Kingswood. And play will continue round after round after round until someone reaches 20 fame points and the end game is triggered. Now let's get back to my final thoughts. So did I like it? Yeah, actually for a filler, it had some very interesting tactical decisions that you could make as you went along. And let's go into that. I did like the rondelle mechanic where you're, basically going in the circle and it's bi-directional and you're trying to figure out which way is the best way to go. Shall I go to this part of the village and upgrade my character, or shall I go fight? What monsters are out there? What will they give me in return to help me along my quest of becoming the best guild in the land? I like that idea, and I also like the fact that it kept you interested, even though it was extraordinarily simple to learn and simple to get into. Now, mastering it was a little tough, right? Because you have some other people at the table that are going to be blocking you. You have that King's Guard blocking you. But overall, the game in and of itself is a tight, fun package. I really like the idea, and I say this in a lot of reviews, but I like the idea of getting cooler in a game, of getting progressively better. That means building my clan up or my guild, or building my character even, and getting stronger and stronger and stronger. So as I go along through chapter 1, defeating monsters, possibly gaining some abilities from them that I can use to, replenish my hearts, my swords, my books, things like that, that it makes me stronger as I go into chapter 2, where some of the monsters are extraordinarily strong and require so much of your strength to defeat. So it has a nice sense of progression, and it's got a lot of turn angst. Don't go there, don't go there, don't go. You went there and you blocked that spot. Now I've got to find another optimal way of getting to where I want to go. Especially when it comes to the forest. You will be vying for control of that forest. You will be fighting tooth and nail to get in there as much as you possibly can, because it's going to be blocked a lot from either the King's Guard or other people trying to get in there. I also like the idea of the collect action, where you're able to pull that King's Guard off and take money if you can't go somewhere you want necessarily, or you just need money. This game was simple, quick, and easy to learn. And it's a game that I wanted to play over and over and over again once I got it going. And I also like the idea that there was some variability with certain locations coming out. Like for example, we had a potion shop come out another time. Well, you might have a wizard's place, I forget the name of it, but you might have another type of location that come out. So it kind of keeps the game fresh and interesting, and it doesn't feel like it's going to get bogged down with just the same old. I like that idea, and I would love it if they introduce a ton more locations as they go along. Who knows, that might be stretch goals. I don't know. If you're looking for something deep and meaty, this is not the game for you. But if you're looking for something that's a good filler game for 25-30 minutes, you can play 4 players in that time frame if everybody knows what they're doing, and yet some of the decisions are interesting enough to make you feel like you're playing a slightly meatier game, this is an awesome game to get into. So anyway, I definitely recommend you checking out the Kickstarter. If you saw anything you liked here, please go check it out and see if it's right for you. And I will tell you, there were people at the table with me that were playing this that said that they would buy this game. So anyway, that's Kingswood by 25th Century Games. Thank you so much for watching the Dice Odyssey videos. You have a blessed day, and game away. This video is brought to you by Fallen Dominion Studios. Check out their website at fallendominionstudios.com.